Brad Garlinghouse might have just sent the XRP community a coded message, and almost nobody is talking about what it really means. When you look at his timing, his wording, and everything unfolding around ETFs, regulation, and the XRP ledger itself, it starts to feel less like a random tweet and more like a signal. If he is right, we are not just looking at number go up. We are standing at the starting line of a moment where institutions quietly flip the switch on XRP in a very serious way. Right from the beginning, I want you to lean in and think with me, not just listen. Brad posts on X right as a pure spot XRP ETF launches and immediately pulls stunning volume. At the same time, the global payment system is migrating to modern messaging standards, new XRP Ledger features are coming online specifically tailored for institutions, and conversations about regulatory clarity are heating up. In this video, I am walking you through how all of these pieces connect, why this feels like the start of an institutional era for XRP, and what practical role you actually play in all of this. By the end, you will see that adoption is not only about what governments, banks, or big funds decide. It is also about what you ask for, what you demand, and how you behave in this market. Let's start with that simple line from Brad Garlinghouse. It's finally happening. On its own, it looks like a celebratory comment about a successful ETF launch. But when the CEO of Ripple writes those words immediately after the first pure spot XRP ETF hits the market and records impressive day one volume, you have to ask yourself, what exactly is finally happening? A spot ETF is not just a speculative vehicle for traders looking for a quick flip. It is a bridge. It lets traditional investors, from financial advisors to pension funds, get exposure to XRP through familiar regulated channels, without touching exchanges, wallets, or private keys. The fact that this ETF launches and immediately records heavy trading volume sends a very clear message. There is real demand for XRP in traditional markets, not just on crypto exchanges. That demand is not accidental. It grows out of years of legal battles, infrastructure building, and education. Now, one ETF does not build a new financial system. It is a key piece in a much larger structure that is being assembled right now. Another crucial piece is regulation, and specifically efforts like the Clarity Act in the United States. The core idea behind this kind of legislation is to give the CFTC clear oversight over decentralized crypto assets such as XRP, while reducing the confusing overlap with the SEC. Institutions do not like gray areas, they like defined rules, clear supervisors, and predictable processes. Without regulatory clarity, serious capital remains cautious. With clarity, banks, funds, and large custodians can design products, register them, and launch them with less legal uncertainty. That is especially important for things like spot ETFs, structured notes, and managed crypto portfolios. The moment the law says, in clear language, this is who regulates XRP and this is how you comply, the conversation changes dramatically in every institutional boardroom and risk committee. Parallel to that regulatory push, the payments world itself is undergoing a massive upgrade. The transition to ISO 20022 is forcing banks and financial institutions around the globe to modernize how they structure and send payment messages. Instead of clunky, limited legacy formats, ISO 20022 introduces a rich, flexible data standard that can carry far more information about each transaction. Banks are required to upgrade their systems if they want to stay plugged into this new messaging world. That process is painful, expensive, and slow for many institutions. This is where Ripple's technology becomes highly relevant. RippleNet is designed to be ISO 20022 aligned, and XRP can be used as a bridge asset within that ecosystem. When banks finally complete this migration, they are not automatically using XRP, but the door is open wider than ever before because Ripple's solutions are now much easier to integrate. Instead of ripping out outdated systems and rebuilding from scratch, banks can plug into software that already speaks the new language. This matters because traditional institutions can easily spend 12, 18, even 24 months trying to modernize their payment infrastructure internally, only to hit delays and complications. Ripple offers them a shortcut: integration in weeks or a few months, using tools that are already tuned to global messaging standards and cross-border liquidity. When a bank is already forced to upgrade because of ISO 20022, the conversation shifts from, "Why would we touch crypto?" to, "How can we integrate a proven solution and move faster than our competitors?" That is where the real opportunity lies for XRP, not just as a speculative asset, but as a genuine utility token within a modernized payments stack. While all of this is unfolding at the regulatory and messaging level, the XRP Ledger itself is evolving in ways that directly address institutional requirements. New amendments are coming online that give enterprises more control, more compliance options, and more flexibility. Think about features like permissioned domains and permissioned decentralized exchanges. Permissioned domains allow controlled spaces to exist on the ledger, where only verified and approved entities can participate. Permissioned DEXs enable gated order books where only credentialed wallets are allowed to trade. Banks and large funds cannot simply jump into a free-for-all marketplace and hope regulators look the other way. They need clear counterparty verification, anti-money laundering controls, and audit-friendly structures. These new XRPL features give them exactly that, without forcing them to abandon the transparency and efficiency of on-chain markets. Then there are credentials on the ledger, which are designed to enable privacy-preserving KYC and AML verification. In practice, this means a wallet can prove that it is verified and compliant without broadcasting sensitive personal details to the entire world. These credential systems align with W3C standards, meaning they are not just crypto experiments. They are being built to fit into the broader architecture of the internet. For institutions, this is critical. They must verify who they are dealing with, but they must also respect data protection rules. Credentials give them a way to strike that balance on-chain. Another powerful piece is the introduction of multi-purpose tokens. These allow institutions to issue customized tokens representing things like real-world assets, lending positions, or collateral, with built-in features such as clawback mechanisms for risk management. Imagine tokenized bonds, tokenized trade finance instruments, or tokenized real estate, all living on the XRP ledger with rules and safeguards that regulators can understand. Instead of building every rule from scratch in bespoke code, institutions can leverage primitives that are specifically designed for compliant digital finance. When you put credentials, permissioned domains, permissioned DEXs, and multi-purpose tokens together, you get an environment where many of the usual objections from banks and funds begin to disappear. Integration becomes less complex, compliance becomes more straightforward, and the cost of experimentation drops significantly. On top of these ledger-level improvements, players like Evernorth are stepping in to provide the kind of infrastructure that large institutions expect. Evernorth is working to deploy a regulated, large-scale XRP treasury that can offer compliant liquidity and yield opportunities via DeFi, while also running enterprise-grade validators on the XRP Ledger. This combination is powerful. A regulated treasury gives banks and funds a comfortable source of clean liquidity, and enterprise validators raise the bar for reliability and governance on the network. It also means that entities closely aligned with institutional interests may gain more influence over future amendments and protocol decisions. Some in the community may love it, others may be cautious, but either way, it strengthens the case for institutional involvement. It tells large players, this network is not just a hobbyist playground, it is being prepared for serious, regulated capital. All of this naturally leads to the question many people are asking: what about BlackRock and other asset management giants? BlackRock's involvement in spot Bitcoin ETFs has already shown how much impact a single global firm can have when it legitimizes a product in the eyes of traditional investors. The obvious question is whether, and when, they might consider an XRP product. When pressed on air about XRP, executives tend to be cautious or evasive, which only fuels speculation. But instead of reading tone and body language, it is more useful to look at what BlackRock has already said about why they launched a Bitcoin spot ETF in the first place. They cited customer demand. Their clients wanted regulated Bitcoin exposure, and BlackRock's job is to respond to investor needs with compliant products. The same logic applies to XRP. BlackRock and other firms are not likely to build an XRP product just because crypto Twitter is excited. They are far more likely to respond when wealth managers, family offices, institutional clients, and even retail investors start repeatedly asking for XRP exposure in a regulated format. That is where you, as an individual investor or XRP supporter, actually have a surprising amount of influence. If your brokerage or investment platform already offers Bitcoin ETFs, Ethereum products, or broad crypto funds, but nothing dedicated to XRP, you have a choice. You can stay quiet and accept that menu, or you can contact them and say clearly, "I am interested in an XRP product. When will you offer one?" One request might sound insignificant, but when thousands of clients across multiple platforms begin asking the same question, product teams and executives pay attention, because demand is the foundation of every new product launch. At the same time, it is important to stay grounded in the emotional reality of this market. The biggest phase in crypto does feel like it is on the horizon. Regulatory frameworks are maturing, infrastructure is evolving, and the tools for institutional involvement are finally becoming robust and compliant. But none of that stops the market from being volatile. Prices can rise aggressively and fall just as quickly. There will be periods of intense fear, uncertainty, and doubt, especially from communities who feel threatened by XRP's narrative or by the idea of multiple assets sharing the spotlight. There will also be waves of excessive optimism where people forget risk management and assume the only direction is up. Your real challenge is not spotting the potential, it is controlling your emotions. Over-leverage, panic selling, chasing every breakout, and reacting to every headline will destroy more portfolios than regulation ever will. If this moment truly is a once-in-a-lifetime shift in how value moves across the globe, then your edge lies in education, patience, and discipline. That means understanding the technology, following the regulatory developments, recognizing the role of institutional players, and staying calm when the market tests your resolve. So, did Brad Garlinghouse send a secret message to the XRP community? It might not be secret in the mysterious sense, but it is certainly loaded. When he writes, "It's finally happening," against the backdrop of a spot XRP ETF launch, Global ISO 20022. Migration, XRPL institutional-grade upgrades, and new treasury and validator infrastructure, he is not just cheering for a single event. He is acknowledging that several long-term efforts are converging at the same time. We are watching a roadmap emerge in real time, from regulatory clarity, to payment modernization, to ledger-level compliance features, to product infrastructure, and finally to investor demand. If you believe we are stepping into an institutional era for XRP, your role is straightforward but powerful. Keep learning. Stay critical, not cynical. Ask your platforms for the products you want. Manage your risk intelligently. And remember that in a market filled with noise, hype, and fear, the combination of clarity and patience is one of the strongest advantages you can have.